Hi, welcome back to another Hour Crowder with me, your host Crowder. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you are already a subscriber, go ahead, ding the bell so that you can get all of my latest podcasts every Tuesday. I know that y'all get mad at me because I be saying every Tuesday like it be out on Tuesday now. I know. I didn't get the episode out, but that's because some things came up, and I know y'all tired of me over there having excuses, but at the end of the day, I don't get paid for this. I mean, I have all the equipment and everything, and that's because I wanted to be able to do this for not for free, but I wanted to do it without paying for it every time I did it. So I have the equipment and I have the setup and everything in here I own. I don't ever have to pay anybody to do anything. I don't have to pay anybody for studio time. I don't have to pay anybody to record or edit or anything for me because I record, edit, and everything. I'm a one-man show. But I also have a job, you guys, because who else is going to be able to pay for promotion and stickers and stuff like that? And I just want to be able to get like the perfect vibe going on here before I just start to put video in. I actually have the video. I actually have the camera, but it doesn't come in until Friday. So this will be the last episode without visuals. I will have the visuals next week for sure. I did record an episode. I just didn't edit it in time. And by the time I would have finished editing it and putting the clips and all the information, the timestamps and stuff, because I'm trying to get back to doing that for you guys too, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time to listen to a whole hour episode. I'm a truck driver, so I get a chance to listen to everything all the time because I'm just driving all the time. But I know that a lot of people don't. So I know that it's some topics that I talk about that you would rather hear that topic rather than the other one because you probably either already formed your own opinion or you're just like, I don't give a shit about that topic. So, yeah, I'm going to try to start putting in the timestamps, the clips of where I got the information from and just a lot of other stuff that I want to do for you guys. I want to make this studio really nice and put up the pictures and everything. I got the Banksy, like I had in the other studio. I got the Banksy art, but I'm thinking about new artwork for the background. I got the futon so me and my guests can chill on it if I have guests. I'm going back and forth with the whole guest thing. I really don't know if I'm going to go back to guests. COVID is real, and even though I don't believe that it's as serious as the media predict it to be, I'm still going to take precautions and not put myself in a situation that I don't have to be in because I caught COVID. And even though I didn't catch it to the point where it was just like, I almost died, nigga, it was still like, I don't want to be sick. I don't like being sick. I don't know if anybody else. And then I had to use some of my vacation time for work. And I'm just not on that wave. Everybody else can be sick and be like, oh, it just felt like the cold. Nigga, I don't even like getting the cold. So I don't want to get COVID either. And then, you just really don't know. COVID, it kind of reminds me of like sex partners. You put a condom on because that even though you're having sex with them, you don't know how many people they're having sex with. Same thing with COVID. You might be protected and you're taking all the precautions, but that one time that you just kind of go off the limb and don't, wear protection and you just kind of raw dog it, then you catch something because you don't know how many people they've been with. So their sex partners become your sex partners also. I know that was a really weird, whole thing I went into. But, yeah, I just like to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on because, like I say, I'm very busy. Driving trucks really take a lot out of my time, and I'm trying to get it to the point where I'm getting off at a set time so that I can be able to go back to getting things on track with the podcast, which next week it will be back on. Y'all will probably get a bonus episode next week because I'll probably edit the one that I did last Friday and probably drop it Wednesday or something like that, and then I'll drop this one Tuesday, or I'll probably drop that one Thursday and I'll drop this one Tuesday, the one that I'm doing right now. But yeah, everything's coming together. Don't worry about it. Visuals will be back on for sure next time. Other than that, I'm pretty much gonna be solo dolo for the most part. I'm going back to video, so if you do hear HR Heather, she'll probably be in the background or whatever like that. But as far as being on camera, she just doesn't feel comfortable, and I don't blame her because guess what? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I really want her to have conversations with me, but for the most part, I'm not going to force anything. And I can pretty much hold my own. As you can see, I've done multiple episodes by myself. I got the puppy dog in the corner. She's chilling. Y'all might hear a little bark here and there or whatever. But for the most part, I could hold my own doing a whole hour by myself. So let's go ahead and get into these topics, though. The Joe Budden podcast said some things recently on their most recent episode about a lot of LGBTQ things, the baby, and quote unquote the CEO of the LGBT community, which is so wild. But I'm gonna go ahead and read the excerpt so that you guys can go ahead and see where I'm coming from. So Twitter audience is wondering if Joe Budden is trolling them with his assertion on his podcast Thursday that implemented the rapper is bisexual, meaning Joe Budden. I'm bisexual. That's what he said. I'm bisexual, he said on Thursday, episode 485 of Joe Budden podcast. How do I spread the news? How do I spread the word? Yo, listen, I like guys and girls. Spread the word. I'm down. So that's what he said on his Twitter and also on his podcast. However, his comments came as a larger part of a conversation about cancel culture and the LGBTQ reaction to fellow rapper DaBaby. Budden and his co-host were discussing the fact that DaBaby is heading out on a 22-city tour, which was set after the rapper met with officials from Relationship Unleashed. An LGBTQ, I'm gay and I still get that shit mixed up. LGBTQ organization. The show host remarked from Relationship Unleashed CEO attention span as hell, man. Y'all don't remember anything. But a while back, DaBaby said some things about was deemed as homophobic. Me, honestly, I wasn't offended by it as a gay woman. I don't think that they was homophobic, but he said to the extent, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, put your lighters up if you're not one of those guys sucking dick in the parking lot. Put your lighters up if you don't have AIDS. Or if you don't have a nasty disease, and some other things that I just don't even really remember because I didn't get offended by it. And research, you'll figure out that it's like, for one, it was a call and response from him to his crowd. So it's kind of like, you say 2000, I say 2012. One of those callback and respond things that rappers do at concerts to hype the crowd up. And it was a song that he was working on for some new music that he's doing. So after I really found that out, I just really didn't care. But they was deemed homophobic through the media. And so he was canceled. I don't care how much you like the baby. That money was not rolling. That money stopped. That money straight stopped. So, yeah, the money stopped. He wasn't making any money. He was basically cut off from all the venues that, you know, had him put up for maybe a year. And he went to go meet with Gwenadol Clemens, which is actually she's the CEO of Relationships Unleashed, and she's a pastor, and her son's gay. The comments that was made on the Joe Budden podcast is that they were kind of spinning the narrative of what actually really happened. Is the baby met with him and the CEO of the LBGT community. Now, she's already come out in other platforms and deemed that as a lie. She was misquoted. She's the CEO of a nonprofit organization that happens to cater to the LBGT community that deals with AIDS. So I could understand why he would go and meet with her, because she's the head honcho of that, you know? Everybody thought that it was homophobic, and he was talking about gay stuff. So why not go and meet with the person that, you know, deals with both? So she forgave him. She didn't grant him any type of clearance or something like, oh, well, you know, you're good to Rolling Loud now because I've already granted you, you know, the clearancy to go and do it. That didn't happen like that, I don't think. Now, on the flip side of that, I do feel like ICE had a valid point in calling the organization of the LBGT community is a mafia. It operates just like a mafia. You know, you can go back and go listen to the things that he said, but he did have a point. And I want to clarify that, because even though he had a point, I don't think that he realized that it's two different sectors of the LBGT community now. And I've noticed it. And actually, I've been saying it for the longest, is that there is a business side of the LBGT community, and there is a grassroots side. The grassroots side is the people that are just fighting for a safe space for the LBGT community to be into, where we're not hassled, we're not harassed, we're not killed. People accept us. And honestly, I've never met any gay person that begged someone to accept them, except probably our parents when we came out. But the business side, the corporation, the way that the media presented this, and honestly, I do feel like, yeah, it was some type of exchange that happened, because at one point, all of his money was cut off. He wasn't touring. All the venues cut him out. And then he meets with this, you know, this gay lady, Gwenadol, what's her name? Gwenadol Clemens. And all is good. You can go back to Rolling Loud. That's weird to me. But back to my point, you know, there's the corporate side of the LBGT community, which is them profiting and using us, this community, as the face to get their agenda done. What is their agenda? Their agenda is to indoctrinate your kids with being over-sexualized, whether that's a heterosexual kid or a gay kid or a trans kid or whatever. Like, yes, there are kids in our community that early in life that know that they're trans, early in life they know that they're gay, early in life they know that they like both sex. But no, I do not want to indoctrinate kids to be over-sexualized, to think sexually. Like, you're 11 years old. You don't have any business thinking about sex anyways. Like, you have all your life to be who you want to be with who you want to be, and be the sexual orientation that you want to be. But right now at 11 years old, no, that's not the talk that we need to be having. And that's not the talk that I want a complete stranger at your school to have, or anyone. So the agenda is to over-sexualize your kids, and that's what these elites want you to do. They want kids to feel like it's okay to be gay, and it is okay to be gay, but it's okay to be gay if you know that you're gay, not to coerce a kid into thinking that they're gay because of all the music and all the things that are going on in society right now. You know, everything that's trending, a kid wants to be and a kid wants to do. And honestly, that gets a lot of the grassroots LGBTQ into trouble because they're fighting for real things that matter in the LGBT community. And then the corporation, the business side, the elites come in and they switch it up. And then they cause division and friction in between the heterosexual and the LGBT community. And once there's friction, then we don't have any grounds to try to make straight people understand where we're coming from and how we feel about what they say, because you never know something's offensive until the person that you offend say that it offended them. But they create these situations where it's just outrageous. Like we just talked about the whole Wisconsin thing, or Westchester, Virginia Westchester, where they was like, we don't want Mother's and Father's Day. We want person that birthday. Okay, no one in the LGBT community said that. No one's thinking that. Half the people in the LGBT community don't even have kids like that. We adopting kids. So no one birthed the kid anyways, you know? And then there was another situation where it was the Dave Chappelle thing. All of the gay people didn't find anything wrong with it. All of his friends, people on Twitter, people on Instagram, people on Facebook was praising him. No one felt offended by what he did. You know who did feel offended? The people that didn't watch the whole special. The people that just let social media run their lives and let them think for them. We should know by now how social media work. They're going to take clips, they're going to chop it down to 1 minute, and they're going to give it to you. The thing that I always ask when they say you should be offended by something is, what is the context of this? What's the nuance? Let me go see the whole clip. Because in Texas here, and I try to give this example to everybody, here in Texas, what's good could mean a lot of things. What's good could mean, hey, my nigga, what's good? You know, you trying to fight or what? Or what's good could mean like, are you okay? You know, like, damn, nigga, break your heart. You okay? Or it could mean, you good? Like, hey, what's up? What's going on around the corner over there? What's good could mean so many things, but how you interpret it due to the situation, you'll definitely know what's good that person's talking about. Sorry, up north folks. I don't know if you following me, but I know the down south people are following me. But yeah, most people do not deal with things in nuance. They let social media run their life. They let social media think for them, and then have the nerve to argue about it on social media without even going to go watch any of the whole clip, any of the whole thing that even went down. They just watch a 1 minute clip and think that they know everything. And you know how fast the internet roams. It's once it's out there, it's really hard to retract, you know, what was actually said and the nuance of the situation. But yeah, they tried to do the same thing to Dave Chappelle. If you go and listen to that whole special, then you would see that he's making a point of, you can talk about every single group of people, and not every single group of people. I mean, you can't talk about, you know, Jewish people. You can't talk about LGBTQ. And I think those are pretty much the top ranking groups that if you talk about them two people, you're going to get canceled. Nick Cannon, prime example, got canceled. He said that black people were the real Jews and We ain't heard from that nigga on Cannon Class in a minute. They tried to cancel Dave Chappelle. They canceled the baby. So it's just like Dave Chappelle was trying to say that in his special, but too many people was so on the edge of their seat waiting for him to say a trans joke that offended them that they couldn't see the bigger picture of what he was saying. The bigger picture of what he was saying is that Black people is at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to respect. It's been Black people here for a minute. I mean, gay has been around for a minute too, but let's be serious. Black has been around longer than gay. But if you talk about a gay person, you're canceled. But you can say nigga 50,000 times. You can talk about Black people. You can stereotype Black people. And guess what? You will not get canceled. Even if you, like he said in his special, I mean, the baby killed somebody and he wasn't canceled. But in his defense, it was self-defense. But we know that there's other situations where rappers have been in that they did not defend themselves in self-defense. It was just on some gang shit, some street shit, and they killed someone. And they didn't get canceled. Actually, their record sales went up. So that just, the LGBT community, the salty ones, not the real ones that don't care about social media stuff and they actually care about real issues. The salty ones that let social media run their lives are literally proving Dave Chappelle's point of how they have wielded this power that is not their own. Let's just say that from the jump. It's not their own. This is elite power, letting them wield this power because, for one, it brings in money, and for two, an agenda is trying to get passed. We are being used to pass the agenda of pedophilia. And I will always say that. I've been saying this since the very first episode of my show, is that the LGBT community is being used to Trojan horse the agenda of passing pedophilia, making it acceptable to society, because these sickos who are the elite can't just pass a bill or an executive order or just come out and say it's okay to date kids. They have to do it in steps, because I don't care if you Black, white, gray, gay, straight, male, woman. I think everybody here, or at least the majority of people here on this earth, can all come together and say, no, I'm going to beat your ass if you sitting up there touching kids. That shit wrong. Racism goes out the door when you're talking about pedophilia. So that trumps racism. I think we could all come together, white and Black, and say that shit's wrong. And I think that they know that. They know that. The elites and the people that devil into this weird realm of like trying to be with kids and touch kids and do weird stuff with kids, they know that that is the breaking point with people of the world. To get it into acceptance is baby steps. So first you had gay people. Remember when being gay was taboo? You had to wear women clothes and stuff, but just 2 sizes bigger. But everybody kind of knew you was gay. And then here comes bisexual. That was taboo. And then here comes queer. And then here comes trans. And I'm pretty sure next, not within our lifetime, I don't think so, but pedophilia will be next, because most of the LGBT philosophy is based in feelings, how we feel. Trans people, I feel like a woman, so you're going to treat me like a woman and you're going to respect me as a woman. Queer, I just feel like doing whatever I want to. I'm a man that likes men one day, and I'm a man that likes women the next day, and I'll try this and I'll try that, and I'm just whoever I want to be. Gay, I'm a woman. I dress in men clothes. I'm masculine presenting. Ideology like a man, but I'm not a man. So everything is based in feeling. And they have harvested that, and they're like, good. Because now, down the line, because of the way that y'all feel, which our feelings are pure. Don't get it twisted. I'm not banging on nobody in the LGBT community because I'm gay. But I just see the play. I see the play that they're doing on us. Trans people, gay people, queer people feel a certain type of way, but we're genuine with it. They're using that so that down the line, they can say, well, you can't say that I can't feel this way as a 30-year-old man that feels like a 13-year-old little boy. And because I feel like a 13-year-old boy, I want to date a 13-year-old boy. And you can't tell me any different because guess what? You just let this man that felt like he was a woman be in woman sports and get a gold medal. So that's what I'm saying. Be very careful. And I'm talking to my LGBTQ community. They're using us. And you have to wake up to the BS. They're using your genuine feelings, how you actually feel inside. You don't want to touch on no kids. You just want to be yourself. And they're using that as the Trojan horse to pass pedophilia through us. And the one last thing that I honestly have to say is that everybody's like, oh yeah, cancel culture. Actually, I have two things to say. Oh yeah, cancel culture is so great. You know, we canceled the baby. See, look at our power. Look at this. Look at that. Like, yeah, we canceled that nigga. Yeah, I bet he won't do that again. But what you have to understand about cancel culture is that your turn is next. Look at all the people that have been canceled that has been on top. White people was on top. They were running everything for a while. Then their ass was getting canceled. Karen and Kens are what they are now. They get canceled. Then men in general. It didn't matter if you were black, white, Chinese, Mexican, black, whatever. If you said something that was even slightly offensive to women, then you was canceled. I mean, a whole Me Too movement is built around it, bruh. Behind canceling men. So you can't just be walking around just saying, oh, you know, these people are canceled and we did a good job, because your turn's next. Me, I don't like cancel culture. I think that this is America. We should be able to say what we want to say because that's freedom of speech. So your time is going to come. Everybody that's at the top always fall. So LGBT community, while you out here laughing and pointing and, oh yeah, our movement worked. It's great that your movement worked, but let it work on real things that matter and real people that are offending us. Not no social media bullshit. And that's another thing. Like, we need to stop begging everybody to accept us. Take the people that accept you, take that love, and keep it moving. Forget the people that don't accept you for who you are. You're going to be begging for them people to love you forever. Stop that shit. Who cares? It's 2021. If a nigga still don't like you because you trans or you gay or you bi, fuck that nigga. Fuck him. You ain't got to cancel nobody, because at the end of the day, they still got their people and you still got your people. Fuck it. Stop begging for love. That shit's ridiculous. And the second point that I want to make, and I'm going to just end it on this because I've been talking about this for a whole 35 minutes now. But the second point is black people. Look at the power that they wield. Black people has been around longer than gay people have. We need to be taking a note out their book that if we all get together and all agree on one thing, hint, hint, reparations, and figure out what is the one thing that we all have in common that we can all agree on. agree on that shit and keep it pushing straight up, because that's the only reason why we're not at the top right now. Is because Black people aren't monolithic. We all have our own views about everything, about politics, about sports, about sexuality, about how women are supposed to be, about how men are supposed to be, about everything. Because we've dibbled and dabbled in so many cultures, and people have taken our culture and they've remixed it and they bring it back to us and they spit it out, and so much stuff. So we aren't monolithic, but as Black people, we can all agree on one thing. And I really think that we need to get together. We need to take a page out of the Jewish people book. We need to take a page out of the Mexican people book. We need to take a page out of clearly the LBGT community book. And before anybody be on some weird shit like, oh, so you want us to all be gay? Like, listen to the whole podcast, nigga. I'm spitting some facts here, and if you want to take them, you can take them. But I'm talking about the power and the organization and the togetherness that these groups of people hold and harvest, and they turn it into power. That's what Black people need to be on. And with that, I'm wrapping that up. I'm not going any further because I've been talking about it for 27 minutes. Let's go ahead and get to Metaverse. Metaverse. That shit is crazy. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. I've been reading up on a lot of stuff about it. I just actually read up on some more stuff about it. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of super impressed. Like, to an extent, I'm impressed, but I'm kind of not, because metaverse isn't new. I mean, we've all went to Main Event and put on the VR goggles and, you know, did some stuff off in the, you know, alter reality, I guess, quote unquote. Or if you ever played Roblox, or if you ever played, what's that new game? The kids with the sleeves and everything. And I don't play games, I'm sorry. But it's a bunch of games out there that it's kind of like a metaverse in a sense. He's just upping the ante. But this is an article out of The Verge, and I read this whole article, so I'm only going to read little bits and pieces of it for you guys. And hopefully, like I said, I'm trying to get around to the point where I can like put the article in there as I'm like reading it, and you guys can actually see what I'm reading, so y'all don't just think I'm making some shit up. Excuse me. So, as June come to an end, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg told his employees about an ambitious new innovation. The future of the company will go far beyond its current project of building a set of connected social apps and some hardware to support them. Instead, he said Facebook would strive to build a maximalist interconnected set of experience set out of sci-fi, a world known as the metaverse. The company's division focused on products for communities, creators, commerce, and virtual reality would increasingly work to realize this vision. He said in a remote address to employees, "What I think is most interesting is how these themes will come together into a bigger idea." Zuckerberg said, "Our overarching goal across all of these innovations is to help bring the metaverse to life, people." So if you don't know what a metaverse is, you don't know what that means, it basically means that you will be doing Facebook in person, if that makes any sense. Like, Facebook will be Roblox. Like, you will be in Facebook. You will be able to meet up with that troll that's trolling your page and talking shit. That, like, metaverse is gonna be a wild thing to have, because I have so many trolls on my page that like just troll the fuck out of me all the time, and sometimes I just be like, bro. One time this guy went in my DMs and called me a nigger, with a ER. And I was like, bro, like, I just wish I could just like find you. But yeah, what I think about the metaverse is that I genuinely like the idea. I think it's a very cool idea. I think that it's moving forward with technology. I'm not a big fan of technology, but it mostly comes from the insecurities that I have with how technology has been presented to us by the elites, the higher ups, how they manipulate technology and they use it for bad. That's the only problem that I have with metaverse, is that I like the idea. It's just in the wrong person's hand. We got to understand, this is the same person that didn't know that his company was selling our fucking personal information to companies. So now, like, I'm thinking, how much more information do we have to put into the metaverse to get our selves into it? Do we have to, give our DNA? Do we have to give a fingerprint? All of those things are very personal. Like, do I want a third party company having access to my fingerprint? I mean, let's be honest. We've already gave them pretty much all the data that they need. Now they're just going to need more to get into the metaverse. I mean, you're going to have your avatar into this computer-like system. You're going to need more than my address is hot 189 from streettexas.gmail. Like, they don't want that shit, bro. They want a little bit something more. So if your ass get out of line in the metaverse, they can kick your ass out. But, I don't know. I don't know what they're all gonna need. But another concern that I also have is how addicted we are to technology. I mean, just think about it. If you're already addicted to this 2D version of the metaverse, because don't get it twisted, we already in the metaverse. The metaverse ain't nothing but an alternate reality. Well, when people post pictures and they use filters and they only post pictures of them on nice glamorous vacations, and then they go home to their real life and go cry, that's the metaverse. You're presenting this little metaverse though, but the bigger metaverse is what Mark is trying to create. So we're already living there. But back to my point is that one of my concerns is that we already is very addicted to this 2D version of the metaverse. So what happens when we get this 3D version of the metaverse? Just think about it. I know I'm guilty of it. You forget your phone at the house, and this was the earlier days. Nobody don't forget their phone at the house no more. You'll down there pick up your phone before you even pick up your wallet. You'll forget your wallet before you forget your phone. But let's just say you do forget your phone, and you're already on the highway, halfway to work. Who turning around to go get their phone? I know I am. I didn't went off route to go get my phone from the house. Oh, damn, I left my phone. I get straight to work. First stop, my house, to get my phone, and then the route. Because we're already addicted to it. Or better yet, people that get in Facebook jail. It'd be like new niggas hitting me up, like the same profile picture but a different name. I'd be like, who this nigga? I have to DM them. Nigga, is this you? Yeah, I'm in Facebook jail. Add me. That's a crazy addiction, to know that you're kicked off of a platform for a certain amount of time, and instead of you just waiting for the certain amount of time to be up, you're like, I gotta be into this. I gotta be into the 2D metaverse. I got to. So I'm gonna make another page. I'm gonna break in. So that's another concern, is that we're very addicted to the internet already. So I just want to know how much more we're going to be addicted into it. with it already pretty addictive now, I actually have a clip that I'm going to play, and I want you to hear it right here, because it's this guy named, I can't pronounce his name, but it'll be on the screen, Masauki or something like that. I can't pronounce his name. He's literally talking about what's to come now, and he's like a professor at like in California or whatever. But yeah, here's the clip.
Do you have worries of longer term existential risk from technology, from AI? So I think that's a wonderful vision of a future where war is a distant memory. But now there's another agent, there's somebody else that's able to create conflict, that's able to create harm. AI systems. So do you have worry about such AI systems?
Well, yes, that is an existential risk. But again, I think an existential risk not for this century. I think our grandkids are going to have to confront this question as robots gradually approach the intelligence of a dog, a cat, and finally that of a monkey. However, I think we will digitize ourselves as well. Not only are we going to merge with our technology, we'll also digitize our personality, our memories, our feelings. You realize that during the Middle Ages, there was something called dualism. Dualism meant that the soul was separate from the body. When the body died, the soul went to heaven. That's dualism. Then in the 20th century, neuroscience came in and said, bah, humbug. Every time we look at the brain, it's just neurons. That's it, folks. Period. End of story. Bunch of neurons firing. Now we're going back to dualism. Now we realize that we can digitize human memories.
What he's talking about in this clip is literally what Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do right now. He's literally trying to make our body separate from our conscious, our soul, or whatever you want to call it, because I know different people got different religions or they believe in different things. But just to break it down, he's trying to take your mind away from your body, which if you've already seen movies like Ready Player One, you've seen series on Netflix like Black Mirror, then you know exactly what is to come. I mean, they've already trying to figure out what is consciousness in the science community. What is a soul? They've literally watched people die and they put them on a scale. And when they die, they see if they lost any weight to just see how much a soul weighs. How much a soul weighs. This is how invested they is in trying to literally figure out the human body. Even going so far as to figuring out the human body without a soul. Another main concern, and this is my biggest concern, because I've watched things like Black Mirror, Ready Player One, and it was this other clip that I might slide in here while I'm talking about it that Heather sent me. It's about this book called Snow Crash. I haven't read it. I'm not really a big sci-fi book person. So I said that I was going to buy it, and I probably still will, because now I'm super interested in sci-fi shit, because now in my lifetime, I actually see it unfolding. Like when I was little and I seen the Jetsons, I was like, oh, that's going to be in 2000, and this was in like 1994 that I was like, yeah, in 2010, I'm going to have a flying car. Cars are still not flying. It's other technology now. It's like, yeah, your car could fly, I guess, but it's way better to just have it drive itself, which basically is kind of like a flying car. But you wouldn't think that at 5 years old, but I've seen stuff like Black Mirror and Ready Player One, and there is a book called Snow Crash that they break it down to the point where all of the things that is happening now, like COVID, the economy breaking down, even so far as the cryptocurrency is in this book. Actually, I pulled up a summary of the book, so I'm just gonna read it to you guys. Snow Crash is a science fiction novel American writer Neal Stephenson published in 1992. So this was in 1992, folks. It's 2021. So how did he figure out that all of this stuff was going to be happening in 1992? Don't know. The story opens up in Los Angeles in the 21st century, an unspecific number of years after a worldwide economics collapse. Okay, we already know that in 2030, the stock market is predicted to crash. The stock market crash all the damn time. What is going up right now? Food, water, things that we need to live. The economy is on a crash. The housing market is like at a standstill right now. Los Angeles is no longer part of the United States since the federal government has ceded most of its power and territory to private organization entrepreneurs, franchising, independent sovereignty, and private vehicles reside supreme. Mercenary armies compete for national defense contracts, while private security guards preserve the peace and sovereign gated housing development. So basically, this sounds like in the near future, we going back to, you got to pay for the cops to come around. You got to pay for the fire department to put out your damn house if it's on fire. But it really don't even matter, because in the near future, you ain't even going to have a house anyways. Let me keep reading. Highway companies compete to attract drivers to drive their roads. What that sound like, y'all? Don't that sound like toll roads where you have to pay to get on the road? That's already stuff that's happening. This book was written in 1992. And all mail delivery is by hire carriers. Government maintain authority only in isolated compounds where they do tedious make work that is, by and large, irrelevant to society around them. So I'm not going to read that whole thing, but it will be up because, like I said, I am working really hard to get this podcast back to the way that it needs to be. And so that y'all have factual stuff and y'all can actually go and look at stuff and not just take my word for it. But I want to read this one last part because this is happening right now. We can all, I don't know what anarcho-capitalism is. I read it, but it was really complicated and I don't have like the capacity to like break it down. It kind of sounds like a really stupid made up word that it's like the ultimate capitalism where only people that's making like the huge money run shit. That's what it sounds like, but I'm not gonna go on like a rant and act like I know actually what that means. So y'all could go look up the definition for that word yourself. But a theme Stephen carries over to his next novel, The Diamond Age, is described in both novels and the short story The Great Seminola, whatever that is, caper. Hyperinflation has sapped the value of the U.S. dollar to the extent that $1 trillion bills. Okay, that part, and that's the one part that I wanted to read. Actually, it's another part I want to read too, but I want to expound on this. What have we been saying for the last few years? That the American dollar is going down. The American dollar is going down. The American dollar ain't worth shit. Why do you think that they're going to cryptocurrency? Because they know that the American dollar isn't worth shit. And they are preparing us for this digital world, aka metaverse. They know that we're going to spend all our time in the metaverse because whether it's Mark Zuckerberg metaverse or someone comes along and do it better and then we spend our time in that metaverse. But either way, we're not going to be spending much time in this reality anymore. So if you're not spending much time in this reality, the physical reality, and you're spending most of your time in the digital reality, wouldn't it make sense to make digital money? They're preparing us for the digital world. That's why cryptocurrency is so big. Why do you think that the Federal Reserve ain't came in and shut that shit down? You think that the Federal Reserve is just gonna let cryptocurrency, let niggas be the bank? Because that's basically what cryptocurrency is. It's on a blockchain. So people are the bank. You don't have to go up to some nigga at Bank of America and go beg him for a loan no more. You can literally go to a person that has a lot of cryptocurrency and say, hey, I'll trade this for this. You the bank now. Why you think the Federal Reserve ain't shut that shit down? Because they're in on it. They know that we're about to get ready to spend most of our time in this metaverse. So they're already capitalizing, getting us in to spend money in cryptocurrency. Oh, put your money in cryptocurrency because they already know. Like, y'all gotta wake up, bruh. Y'all gotta follow the tea leaves, bro. People be thinking all this shit is conspiracy theories. Bro, it's not. We're just looking at the tea leaves and seeing where it's going. If you know anything about anything, you can see exactly where this is going. That was one of the things that I worried about, and I couldn't much put my finger about this cryptocurrency because I was like, this is weird. The Federal Reserve would have been saying something about this. These niggas don't even want us trading. They don't even want a farmer that know pretty much everything about food to sell to his next door neighbor without regulations. But you're going to let cryptocurrency just run wild and rampant? That seems fishy to me. What is that? And then Mark Zuckerberg comes out with metaverse. You put the two together. Oh, I know what this is now. They getting you ready. But I'm just going to read this one last line. This hyperinflation was created by the government overprinting money due to loss of tax revenue as people increasingly began to use electric currency, which they exchanged in untaxable, encrypted online transactions. What was happening all last year during the COVID? Wasn't we getting buku checks? Stimulus checks? Wasn't that overprint money? Ain't the Federal Reserve broke? Because they don't have any money? They don't have any gold? Ain't money backed by gold? Bro, y'all just gotta read the tea leaves, bro. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But niggas will still say that this shit is conspiracy theory. They'll put you in a crazy house if you talk like me. So I'm just saying, start looking at that shit because we've all seen, like I said, we've all seen Ready Player One. And if you haven't, you need to go see it because you can clearly see the two dimensions of the world, the digital world and the real world. And then Black Mirror. You seen when old boy had went on trial. I don't remember what episode it was, but he went on trial and they blocked him. Not online, but in life. This nigga was gray, walking around just a gray blob. And he could see people, but no one could see him. And everybody was like, nah, hell nah, nigga, you gray? That means you blocked from society. Get the fuck away from me. That's just, I'm not going to act like metaverse ain't going to be like the shit, but it's in the wrong people's hands. That's all I'm saying. Just like a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff be good. It's just be in the wrong people's hands. Critical race theory, cryptocurrency, metaverse, policies, executive orders, reparation. All that shit is good. It just be in the wrong people's hands. Just like this. So metaverse sounds really cool, but I just gave y'all guys a lot of fucking information. And honestly, this is just my opinion about it, you guys. Don't take anything what I say off of face value. Please go do your own research because I don't need nobody coming back here and saying, you were wrong. Nigga, it's my opinion. And I'm just reading the tea leaf like you should be also. So let me get to the very last of the last. I was going to talk about the Ahmaud Arbery. I'm going to say that for next week, or I might do like a little quick segment. I was thinking about doing quick segments since, you know, the studio's way closer to me. Ha nigga. But yeah, I might do a short segment on that probably throughout the week or whatever, like a 10-minute segment on the Ahmaud Arbery case. But I do want to talk about some Netflix shit. So far, The Harder They Fall have came out. I think it came out, Wednesday? What's the first date? Monday, something like that. I actually watched it today, a little bit of it today. Not gonna lie, I did not finish it because I just don't like the way that it's depicting black people. Once again, this is great. All those actors in there are great. I love all those actors. I love that it's an all-black film. But on the flip side, it's just how they already depict black people, but in the old days. So instead of gangs, now it's cowboys. Black on black crime right now, black on black crime then. Because these are cowboys that robbed a bank, and another black cowboy group came and took the money from the people that robbed the bank, which were black, and now they're about to go at it with each other. Black on black crime. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Cowboys was doing that too, but it's like, why you got to show this version of the black cowboys? Of them shooting them up, bang, bang, robbing shit, robbing white people, robbing trains. That's the same way that they depict us now in Hollywood. It's gangster. No, the history of cowboys, do you know? Don't even say it because you ain't got a mic. You didn't want to be on here. But there was no jobs for black people after they got out of slavery. So they had to make a way, which was low income jobs, which was like tending to cows, and the derogatory term of boy. White people would still call grown ass men boys. So you're tending to the cows, and I'm still gonna call you a boy because in my eyesight, you ain't no man. Cowboy. Both of those depictions, even if those are the real cowboys and cowboys was doing that, okay, that's shitty. I don't want to see that. That's the same thing. That's the same way that they depict us now in movies like Boys in the Hood, Shot Us, Paid in Full. All of those are gang movies. This ain't nothing but a gang movie. One black group, one black gang robbed a bank. Another black gang came and got the money. And now these two black gangs are about to go at it. It's just placed in the 1920s. This is the same shit. This is the same way that they depict us in Hollywood all the time. So it's a good movie. I like it so far. I did not finish it because of those reasons. The depiction of black on black crime, black people and black gangs, the depiction of black men being in gangs, the depiction of black men robbing and stealing and killing. Same thing. We've just basically become like the poster children for being weak, aka slave movies, being gay, aka every single random gay person that's thrown in a black series. They don't even be having no storyline. They're just thrown in there for whatever reason. You know, you be forgetting that them people are even off in the series because they don't even have a strong storyline. They just kind of throw black gay men off in series nowadays. No storyline, no nothing. Mentally Troubled. What is that? Jason Lyric. I might have aged myself a little bit. That's an old one right there. Jason Lyric. He was mentally unstable, you know. Radio. Mentally Unstable. But that was actually a good movie. I ain't gonna stun. I love that movie. Or Abusive. Daddy's Little Girls. Or what's that? Four Color Girls. You know, like, it's always some black trauma. Anytime they show a film, it's always some black trauma or a white savior. I'm tired of seeing those movies. That's why I stopped watching slavery movies. I'm tired of that shit. I don't want to see no more slave movies. I get it. My ancestors were slaves. But I know what movie you're not going to show. You're not going to show Mansa Musa, the richest black man on the whole planet, in the whole entire world. You ain't going to show that film. But you'll show Harriet Tubman 100,000 times in Roots every fucking year for February. I don't want to see that shit no more, bro. And you're never going to show how the Haitian Revolution ended with Haitians overthrowing the French. You're never going to show that movie. You're never going to depict black people winning and just being black. It's just always some weird drama shit with black films, and I'm just over it. I like that movie, but guess what? Just thrown in gay. Her daughter's gay. Gay.
Her daughter was gay.
Yeah, but why did that have to be? The whole film is about Madam C.J. Walker and her hairline. Just randomly thrown in there. Her daughter was gay too. Like, why? That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. Anything dealing with black people and black film, we either gotta be gay, mentally disturbed, crazy, slaves, begging, bootlickers. I'm tired of it. The next film that I want to see about black people history is Mansa Musa, the richest black man that literally funded this whole world. Europe was broke before that nigga gave them a ball of gold, bro. White people were broke. Other countries were broke before he came over there and shared wealth with them, broke bread. But they ain't going to show you that film. They're not going to show you how the Haitians got down. They're not going to show you how the Geechee got down. They're going to keep showing you shit like this. That's why I don't support films like this. That's why I stopped watching it. Because it digs into your psyche, bruh. That's all that you're ever going to be is some gun-toting, thug-ass niggas that's gay and weak, and white savior daddy got to come in and save you when you mess up the day. So, yeah, great actors, great film. I don't like the plot. I don't want to see any more black trauma in films. And that's that. So, that's my episode for the day, you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on An Hour with Crowder on Facebook and Instagram. Crowder the Great on Twitter, and I'm out.